sex makes everything feel better. It's like a endorphin rush, but then later the feeling sick comes back.
So who cares? Why not do your own thing and let them say what they want?
Hey guys, what's up? This is the video that I promised you yesterday in the Friday night mail that happened to be on Saturday. I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna explain to you why I'm often sick. I've done a video like this before, but I feel like, I don't know if I've gotten more eloquent in the way that I explain things, or I'm more in touch with my body, but I now feel like I can explain it better. So yesterday I woke up and I was super excited. This has nothing to do with me feeling down for that week a few weeks ago where I made that video about forcing content. I was feeling great. I woke up, I was really excited. I was gonna record 3 videos: Fan Service Friday, Friday Night Mail, and Tuesday's video, which is gonna be the smash or pass that you guys recommended to me to do, and I took questions and people, or not questions, but just people on Instagram and stuff. So I woke up and I was getting ready and I was putting on my makeup, I was putting my foundation on, and I look over to turn on my curling iron because I wanted to curl my hair a little bit that day, and all of a sudden it hit me like a fucking in the face. I was just like dizzy, and it wasn't like the world was spinning, it was like my head was spinning, which is the difference between vertigo and other issues like inner ear issues. I think vertigo is an inner ear issue, but there's a bunch of, like, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm gonna do my best with what I've self-diagnosed. And so I immediately was super dizzy. I could barely walk. I stood up immediately to go out and drink the second half of Soylent that I hadn't had yet, because I hadn't eaten that much today, and I was like, or that day, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get some more stuff in me to make me no sexual innuendo intended, to make myself feel better. Maybe I just needed to eat something. So I did that, and then I went immediately to lay down, and after the dizziness kind of dissipated, I was so fucking nauseated. I felt like I was gonna throw up at any moment, and I think I have a slight phobia of throwing up. I feel like it's just such a big deal, and I could go in there and like hack my fucking stomach out for hours and like not actually throw up. So I like really don't like doing it. It's like something I'm kind of against, and I've had that phobia since I was really little. When I was really little, I had constipation problems. I would tell my mom my stomach hurts every single day and try not to go to school. I would try to skip school like a few times a week because I didn't feel good, and I honestly did not feel good. And my mom got to the point where she was like, there's no way you're having stomach flus this often, you're not actually throwing up. And then it took a while for me to convince them, not that they just thought I was a kid that didn't want to go to school, but I actually liked school. And so they finally took me to the doctor and found out I was severely constipated, and they had me on like prune juice and laxatives and stuff like that, and then from then on that issue wasn't really a thing. But for as long as I can remember, and this feeling persists throughout all of the diets, all of the weight loss and gain that I've had, all of the different lifestyle changes, everything that I've done has not made a difference in this. And I feel like my days are often on a timetable. I wake up and I feel great, and slowly that greatness feeling dissipates into me feeling like shit. I just feel like shit by the end of the day, and the only thing that makes me feel better is sex, because sex makes everything feel better. It's like a endorphin rush, but then later the feeling sick comes back. And eating starchy foods, and this has also fucked me with my diet and losing weight too, this second time that I gained a bunch of weight, because other than the fact that the Mirena birth control fucked me up, that's what made me gain 20 pounds, but then it's been hard to lose it, because at the end of the day, all I want to do is have like a gigantic sandwich from like Jimmy John's, or make my own sandwich with like a ton of calories, or have like 2 peanut butter and jellies, because the only thing that actually makes me feel better is a ton of carbs. And it's weird because when I'm eating healthier, I overall feel healthier, but then the only thing that makes that one feeling of malaise go away is to eat something starchy. It's something extremely starchy with a lot of calories. So that it's been affecting my ability to make videos, and I always thought, oh, I'm being a pussy. I'm being a huge little pussy bitch, and there's nothing actually wrong with me. I've been to the doctor twice for this, and both the times I told them that it was a stomach ache. And it's not a stomach ache, but it's nausea. I have nausea that seems to stem from the base of my neck and my head, in the back of my head, having pressure. And it's not like a headache, but it's like I can feel a little bit of pressure there that's not too traumatic, but it makes me feel extremely nauseated. It makes me feel extremely lethargic and tired and exhausted, and it progresses over the day, as I said. So I wake up in the morning, I feel fucking amazing, I can take on the world. I work out, my workout is great. I come back, I'm starting to feel a little meh, and the more time I spend in front of cameras or filming or running around, moving around, the worse I feel, and the more I feel like I'm gonna throw up and I can't focus on things. And There have been a few neurological changes for me too that I don't know if I'm just perceiving because I'm afraid that it's a neurological issue. Things like me forgetting words or me having a hard time recalling certain things, or I feel like I'm just worse and more verbose and tangential rather than being really succinct. I've watched some of my 2015 videos and I feel like I was a better speaker and more together back then, which is really concerning because I've done this so much and I've practiced my speech so much that I feel like I should be improving, if anything else. So I plan on going back in and trying one more time to finally have the doctors tell me what's wrong with me. I'm not going to explain it as a stomachache because it's not a stomachache. It's not me being constipated or me having to take a shit or me having gas. It's nothing like that. I get bloated sometimes, but that has nothing to do with the nausea that I feel. I feel like it's definitely either a chiropractic issue or it's a neurological issue or it just has something to do with the way that I sit. I don't know. I've had this before my breast augmentation. I'm not pregnant, I just had my period, and I, because I'm so afraid of becoming pregnant and like not realizing I'm pregnant until it's like a few months in or something, I always keep 2 pregnancy tests in the house that aren't expired, so that whenever I'm missing my period for any amount of days, or whenever I feel a little weird or my nipples are too sensitive, I take a pregnancy test just to make sure. So it's not that, it's not anything to do with me having a Soylent diet. If anything, having a lower calorie diet makes me feel better, other than that. I usually, like, I'll just have Soylent all day. Well, I'll have a coffeeist in the morning, a Soylent, another Soylent, and then my last meal will be a sandwich, and I'll try not to have 2 sandwiches or something, and that helps me with the calorie deficiency that I have to lose weight, and it also helps me with feeling like shit at the end of the day because I get to have my carb load. I get all of my carbs, all of my nutrients. I'm not vitamin D deficient. I'm not any vitamin deficient. I'm not anemic. I've tested that. There are also a few other things. So I have pre-hypotension. Hypertension is when your blood pressure is too high. I have a really, really low blood pressure. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, I would always read as dead. Like you couldn't take my blood pressure. You had to take it like 3 or 4 times to even get it to read. Now I'm a consistent 103/60 or less. And 90 over whatever, like anything lower than 90 is hypotension. So that might be something. I have bad circulation. Every time you touch my feet or my hands, they're ice cold. And I feel like all of these things just might be me not getting enough oxygen to the brain for a prolonged period, and it's affecting me negatively. And making it so that my memory is not 100%, my speech and my articulation is not 100% of what it could be. Obviously, graded on a curve, I would be doing pretty well, but it's just not up to par for me. And I don't know, it prevents me from wanting to do things later in the day. Like, I get really stressed out when I don't start working on my videos earlier, or if I don't start streaming earlier, because that means that by the end of my streaming I'm gonna feel like shit and I'm gonna want to leave because I feel like shit, rather than streaming for 7 hours. I feel like if I didn't have this issue, I would do my videos and shit, and then I would stream like 7 hours a day, like as much as a full-time streamer streams, and I would do the YouTube, and then I would play games on the couch with Jay for like 5 hours. But what I do is I stream for like 3 hours, I tell you guys, oh, I'm getting tired, I'm starting to feel sick, I get off, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna chill on the couch and have fun with Jay, we're gonna play Witcher or something, and then I end up just feeling so sick, and like any little movement makes me feel dizzy. Another change over the years is that I never used to get car sick, I never used to get motion sickness from first-person games, even though I never liked first-person games. That wasn't the reason that I didn't play them back then. I played GoldenEye and stuff and never had a problem. I played Doom and fucking Duke Nukem and stuff. I never had a problem. But nowadays, things like Far Cry Primal and things like Call of Duty, they're making me dizzy. And it just has to be related. It just has to be related, this newfound dizziness and weirdness. And I've never experienced anything like I experienced yesterday. I was very scared. I was like almost on the verge of tears because I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for diagnoses from you guys. I barely even, I'm cynical enough of actual medical professionals' diagnosis because I feel like they're just preaching bullshit. When I was younger, okay, we're gonna go on a tangent for a second. When I was younger, I thought my parents knew everything, and everyone who was deemed a professional at something were 100% right and knew everything. And then I slowly realized that 90% of the world is a bunch of fucking idiots that got degrees but still took nothing from it, and they're just getting by, getting a paycheck. I went with Jay because he was having sternum pains. I went to the doctor with him, And they told him, well, what could you possibly be doing to make the sternum pains happen? And he's like, well, it hurts more when I work out. And he was like, well, maybe just don't work out. What? You're not gonna fucking say that he has costochondritis or whatever. You're not gonna give him any actual reasoning. You're just gonna tell him to stop doing something that's fucking inherently healthy. Like, oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like, doctors are so fucking stupid sometimes, and it's really hard to find a good one. So, yeah, whatever ideas you have for me. I want to hear if you guys have similar issues and if you were diagnosed with something, so that maybe I can suggest that to my health professional. But it's not gonna be ultimately helpful if you try to tell me that, oh, it's my diet, or oh, it's my blah blah blah, because trust me, I know my body. I've tried everything. I know what works and what doesn't. I know I feel better when I'm thinner. I know that eating a healthy diet and juicing vegetables and drinking Soylent and all this stuff makes me feel better. This is a separate actual medical issue, I'm pretty sure, and I'm hoping that I can find some resolve, because I've been dealing with this for a long time, and I've always just told myself, stop being a fucking pussy. It's just you feeling a little sick. Girls often feel a little sick, and I always tell myself that. But honestly, yesterday's bout of just extreme vertigo or whatever that was kind of freaked me out, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think the progression of brain tumors and stuff like that is you start getting vertigo, and then later on you start actually having seizures and being completely out of it and stuff. And like I said in a few FNMs ago, I'm extremely afraid of losing my mental capacity, my intelligence, my personality, who I am on the inside. So if there's anything like that going on, I really want to catch it early. But I just wanted to make this video to reference to you guys anytime someone is like, oh, she's sick often, she needs to go get checked out, blah 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 blah. It's not like an actual sickness. It's not like me getting a flu. It's not like me being extremely unhealthy and going outside and just breathing in people's fucking bacteria and never washing my hands and just being a piece of shit. And it's not me being lazy and lying. I literally have some weird thing where the longer my day goes, the more I spend time in front of lights and cameras, and the more I work rather than just laying down and eating carby foods, I start feeling more and more like shit. And it's not a back thing, it's like a brain, back, head, migraine, neck thing that doesn't get better with me going to get massages and stuff. Like, Jay running his fingers on my back, it releases endorphins just like sex, and that makes me feel a lot better, but afterwards it just comes back. And that's what he did yesterday when I was laying in bed, like, worried about what to do. And I sat there and I was thinking, like, I need to do these videos. Last week fucking FNM was late, and I just really want to get it done for you guys, and I really fucking hate having late videos. I do want to get you guys things out, like the Friday night mail, on time, and I feel really bad when I'm behind in things, but I end up only having a few hours a day that I can work where I don't feel like shit, and then the rest of it has to be me sitting at a computer. Otherwise I'm just like gagging and feeling awful and dizzy and fucking lethargic and just general malaise. That's what I would call it, just general malaise. That's what I've been calling it on Instagram and stuff. I love you guys so much. Thank you to all of you who support and understand that I'm going through something occasionally, and that I can't always do 8-hour streams, and I can't always finish videos on time, and I plan things. It's hard to plan Friday night mail earlier because I have to go get my packages as close to Friday as possible. Otherwise I'm missing packages, and people want me to get them right at the end because they send them right to get here on Friday, and it's hard for me to plan ahead with that one. So that's why, one of the reasons why I can't always get it out on time. I take my fucking upload schedule very seriously. I take you guys very seriously. I take your support very seriously, and I just want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for your understanding and your help and appreciation, and I hope none of you are going through this because it kind of sucks. But at the same time, could be fucking worse. I love you guys. Hope you liked the video. If you did, subscribe and, you know, click the like button and all that garbage. Let me know if you have anything similar, and you know, I don't know, if you have any tips for going to doctors, because I feel like doctors just fucking push me to the wayside. They're like, oh, we did a physical, you're fine. Oh, you look absolutely fine. Oh, you're in peak physical health. And it's like, yeah, but I have this one thing that's bothering me, and it's inhibiting me from working, from enjoying my life, especially as the day goes on. I always want to take naps so that I can wake up refreshed, because taking naps completely erases any of the pain and like lethargy and all that stuff that I have. I don't know. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Ooh.